Alright guys, welcome into the D1 qualifying here. Joining in a little bit late. We're still in Q1. No one's set their lap times yet, so we didn't miss too much. We got, let's see here. Should we jump on here? Got Saul Goodman about to start his lap. Alright guys, welcome into the D1 qualifying here.
Coming around the final corners, we've got Saul Goodman heading down the main pitch straight now as he starts his main lap. Let's see how he goes.
Pemberton with a pretty meh banker lap of 114. That's not going to get him through. He's definitely got to set another better lap there.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Saul Goodman tapping the wall there. This might not be a good lap for him.
Honestly, I don't expect to see many, yeah, I was about to say, until we get upwards to, like, near Jack Fletcher, set and start, like, the first sub 110 time of the qualifying. Oh, seems there's a yellow been thrown in Sector 1.
Time's definitely going to get Jack Fletcher into Q2, most likely. I'm saying probably above, like, a 10.5 is going to get you into Q2 here.
Yeah, oh, and it appears Saul Goodman's having some trouble. He's gone into a runoff area near the chicane coming out of the tunnel.
Looks like he's just waiting, letting people by here. Being a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
At the same time, though, wasn't he going on a flying lap?
He wasn't a flying lap, but he did tap that wall through Sector 1 in the fourth turn. So that's probably, he might have suffered some wind damage there, not too sure.
Yeah. He might have aborted, honestly.
Don't blame him on that.
Oh, new fastest lap, Duncan McCamick with a 109.2.
Oh, Goodman pulling into the pits here, or the pits here. Alfonso on his out lap currently.
Definitely going to have to agree with what you said earlier, though, about anything below a 110.5 should be good enough to get into Q2 at this rate.
Yeah, it's looking like 110.5 is going to be about the mark you're going to want to hit just to be in that safe zone. Probably going to be a couple drivers that are going to be towards the 11s, still making it through though.
Yeah, yeah.
We got Brian Hackman here. Being held up a little bit by the Williams driver there. And making contact with Walter. That's the new TF Desmond here. See if he can still set a decent lap. Looks like it's going to be a little bit slow because of that contact. Yeah, it's going to be a 112.1. That's rough for him. Hopping on board here with Brian Silva, who's on his fast lap. Clean. Let me see it. Really good apex from him there. Get down to the power a little late. Taking the hairpin chicane.
Good exit from the hairpin.
Nailing those apexes just inches away from the wall. Brian Silva's definitely setting a pretty good time here. As long as nothing happens, he should be good to go into Q2 here. Didn't invalidate the chicane there. Coming through the swimming pool chicane there, jumping the curb. You only have to keep two wheels on the track to not get invalidated there. Alfonso Louis.
It looks like he might set a new fastest. He has, in fact. 109 flat.
That's a killer lap from Brian Silva.
For Brian Silva in the Alpine and his teammate have locked out the front row for this Q1.
We should get to see Xcode, the D2 driver, setting his fast lap here. Currently
holding nicely. Yeah. Keeping up nicely with the D1 drivers and 10th.
He's pulling into the pits here. Alright. Still pretty good for Dr. Xcode there. That's impressive from him.
The one I think we need to watch, though, is Eric McNerney. Currently in P17. He hasn't set a lap yet, but definitely one of the, I would say, faster drivers on the grid in D1. Curious to see what he's able to pull out of the bag.
Eric McNerney's on the mediums right now. That's a curious choice for Q1 here. He's just trying to save those songs for Q3. He knows he can get in with the mediums.
It's a smart strategy. Because all he really needs to do is just at least get... Oh, wait, there's 19. If it's anything like the last race, he's going to have to secure 14th or better to move on.
It's true. Remember, with the missing person in the race, it's going to be the bottom 5 from each qualifying time, or qualifying session that's going to get eliminated. We got Saul Goodman on a lap here, coming through the hairpin chicane.
Coming out and around into the tunnel we go.
A little slow on the exit there. Let's see if he can set a decent lap. His last fast lap he had a chance on. He did make contact with the wall, so anything's better than that here. He's just taking it real conservative here just so he can get a time in.
Take it nice and gentle. Oh, no curb through that chicane.
Jump in the swim. Oh, almost loses it in the swimming pool sector there.
He's able to save it. So far, it looks like, I'm guessing this will be around a 111, 112. Should be enough to keep him into Q2, but we'll find out.
Ooh, a 113.3.
Wow, just at the cutoff. Oh, actually, no, below the cutoff for Q2.
Yeah, just below the cutoff there. Let's hop on board Jack Fletcher here. Is Jack Fletcher on his fast lap?
Let's see.
That's what it looks to be. Coming into the hairpin again. This is where we like to catch people, apparently. Really good rotation through there. Carrying a good bit of speed.
Is it just me, or does Saul Goodman look like he's going for another flying lap?
Saul Goodman, let's see. He doesn't have the battery for it, does he?
No, he doesn't, but he's still sending it anyway.
That's interesting. Only 5% battery left. I'm not sure if he's going to get a decent time here. Definitely taking a better line through that chicane than he did last time, though. Might be able to save off a second.
Much better. And he's also got a bit of a toe from, who's that in front of him? Is that Joel or Eric?
That is a big factor on this track, is being too close to anybody with these really high downforce turns. It's going to be a lot of dirty air. Yeah, Saul Goodman.
Yeah, okay, going into the pits. Well, that was quite a fast in-lap, I should say.
He just wanted to get back, get another lap in as soon as he can.
Yeah.
Jack Fletcher. Was he on a... Oh, yeah, he's on his fast lap now.
Yeah.
Sitting on 60% battery. Oh no, he's got his hot lap. He's got his ERS turned off here, I think.
Yeah.
I think he might be coming in.
Yeah.
Got a yellow flag for the first sector. That might be because of Victor, I'm not too sure. Let's hop on board with Eric McCurney. Hasn't set a lap yet, currently on his out lap, about to start.
It's interesting he goes out now for his first lap, this late into the session, almost actually over halfway through, excuse me.
Yeah. He switched off those mediums though onto the softs. Hopefully he might just be wanting more grip out of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's taking this long, although who am I to question the strategy?
Ernie looking a little bit shaky on these turns here.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does. Taking a really tight turn, not much speed out of the hairpin.
I think he's trying to play it pretty conservative coming through the hairpin section.
Yeah, thinking about the D2 race we just had, a lot of that race was just being conservative, getting to the end, and you were almost guaranteed points.
Yeah.
Even with qualifying, there was about 1 or 2 people out each qualifying session there, so honestly, just keeping your nose clean might be the way to go here.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to set those
hugs the curb beautifully through that chicane, though. Oh, it taps the wall a little, though.
A lot of speed for the swimming pool chicane there.
Yeah.
See how he does here. Oh,
that's gonna cost him.
That's gonna kill it for him. And he's
not invalidated, but he still crosses the line with a 111.8. That is enough to get him into Q2, but I still wouldn't count him out just yet. Yeah, he's still very much in trouble of not making it through Q1.
We got Sid Sadigar here, starting his fast lap. Also, it hasn't set a time yet.
Hmm.
See how he does. See what he can do.
I'm interested to see what Sid can do, yeah. Because I know he's done pretty well, especially at the, was it the British Grand Prix?
Yeah, Sid did really well in the British Grand Prix. Couple issues from him from the penalty department there, but...
Bit wide coming out of the hairpin, but other than that, very clean.
Let's see if he can carry some speed out of there, coming onto the tunnel straight. This is about the only time you're going to see drivers hit 8th gear is towards the end of this tunnel straight here. Taking a real tight line on that chicane, trying to save off as many cents as you can by not taking the full chicane there. Coming into the swimming pool chicane, jumping the curve just a little bit, carrying a lot of speed. This is really good from Sid here. This should get him out of Q1. Looking up at. Let's see what we get. A 110.9.
No. Yeah, holding in P12 should be enough buffer to be able to stay into Q2.
But that does knock Cole and Eric out there. Dr. Xcode, our D2 driver, setting the 8th fastest lap, or 9th now, with a 110.2. That's really good from him.
Still very impressive coming from the D2 driver.
Yeah, Dr. Xcode had a rough race last week in his D1 stand-in. Hopefully he'll be able to make it up here. What's wrong with Walter Desmond here? He's about to start his flying lap. Currently the slowest driver on the grid with a 113.5. He's going to really be looking to improve on that. Lets Ethan by there. Doesn't want to cause any kind of clogs coming up in... Oh, let another driver by. It's going to be Christoph Levant. Alright.
I may be mistaken, but the number 29 AlphaTauri is actually on quite a blistering lap so far. He just took the chicane by the harbor really, really well. Very clean exit, very clean entry.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, Jack Pemberton flying through these turns here. Carrying a lot of speed through the swimming pool sector there. Oh,
honestly, this could make for a fastest lap.
Good. Hugging that wall there, you don't want to lose any time on it. That's going to move him up to 6th place with a 109.5.
2 spots, not bad. Not bad at all. We do have a car stopped on track in Sector 2 just after the hairpin. I wonder if that's letting traffic through.
Sure. Looks like he has moved though. So we got Walter, one of the TF Desmond brothers here, coming through to the swimming pool chicane here. Not carrying a lot of speed through here. A little understeery. And uses grip right there. Yeah. That's not gonna be a lap for him. He might be able to make it around in time to set another lap. He turns his ERS off here. That's rough for Walter there.
You are right, though. He does have one more chance. Even if he messes this up, he could potentially go for a 3rd straight flying lap. Although I don't know if that is the smartest strategy.
He's just got to get something in there. If I was him, I didn't get it. I'd still do it just to see what happens. But that is rough for Walter there.
No, yeah, just under 90 seconds left until the checkered flag goes down for the session.
Let's see, we've got Eric McCurney about to start his next flying lap. A very fast driver. It's weird seeing him in this P16 position.
Yeah. Clean out of turn 1, hugging that wall. Right behind him is teammate Joel Gurin.
He's really finding the grip here. A little shaky on the grip.
Just set a fastest first sector.
That's really good.
Eric McNerney's
a little bit
on a
deep into
blistering
the
lap.
hairpin. Well, this is definitely going to be an improvement for him.
100%. I'd be surprised if he's not below 110.5 at this pace.
This is a flying in the most literal since he's... Oh, no, he loses it there.
Oh.
You gotta be careful. You can tap your back tire on there. Is he gonna be able to get around, though, in time to set another lap? He's only got 19 seconds to cross that start-finish line.
Quite literally a race against time now for Eric McNerney, coming in to the final sector, last few turns with 10 seconds to make it to the line. Try and set a better lap than P16. I don't know if he's going to make it. And he
gets out of the way to give him a chance. But,
yeah, he was not able to make it.
Eric's out of Q1 here.
Wow.
Patel pulling into the pits here. That's qualifying done for him. He should be safe. Dude, we got Joel Gurin, the only guy that's gonna really... Oh, no, Joel Gurin finishing his lap, making it out of Q1.
It doesn't look like there's... Oh, wait. Is that... No, Saul Goodman is right now the only one who can knock, I believe it's Sid Segater from his Q2 position.
Goodman just pulled off to let the AI car of Eric McNerney by. Looks like he's just going to be coming back in. He's going to have to live with his time. That 112.
Wow.
Alright, so it's looking like, yeah, our finishers are the guys that got out of Q1 here. We got Brian Silva on pole, Alfonso Luis second, Duncan McCamick in third place, Peter Giordano in fourth, Jack Fletcher fifth, Gabriel DeVries in sixth.
Jack Pemberton for seventh, Garrett Elder eighth.
Excuse me. Ninth, Victor Diaz 10th, Dr. Xcode, the D2 driver, putting in a great performance in 11th, getting out of Q1. Ethan Patel 12th, Joel Gurin 13th, and Sid is going to round out your finishers for Q1 here. That is real unfortunate for Eric. We know he's a faster driver than that. Just a little bit of contact and just hurt him. Alright. That's going to be our finishers for Q1. Eric McCurney, Saul Goodman, Brian Hackeman, and Walter T.F. Desmond all knocked out of Q1 here.
Yeah, maybe we didn't get.
Honestly, those are all very surprising results, especially seeing the performance from Eric McNerney in past races.
Unfortunate for him. It is a long race, though. As long as you can keep your nose clean, you are in a pretty good spot.
You all know you could. You all know you could be top 5.
It looks like Christoph Levant might actually have made it into Q2, despite in the Division 2 race it taking out the bottom 5. It looks like it's only taken out the bottom 4 this time.
Huh, that is interesting. Christoph Levant did make it into Q2 here. I guess the game is acting a little bit different for the different races. It is a new game still, not without bugs, only about a month old. Let's get Joel muted here as he is talking in the game chat. See if anybody does come out.
And so far, nobody's left the pits. And just a few seconds into Q2.
Somebody would want to jump out first here. It looks like it's going to be the Mercedes. No.
Oh. It's a Red Bull. I believe it's a Red Bull.
That's Williams of Garrett Elder out in front here. He's got the clean air. The track's a little bit broken in from Q1. Just be warming up those tires. Has had a good banker lap for this Q2 session. Sid right behind him.
Yeah.
Probably going to want to hang back a little bit just so you don't lose that downforce from being too close.
Same. Yeah, and the same thing is happening with Dr. Xcode and one of the AlphaTauris. It appears one the AlphaTauri has let Dr. Xcode pass. Still, on the back end, that AlphaTauri is following the Ferrari awfully close, especially on this track.
That's a questionable choice from him because we got Garrett Elder starting his fast lap here. Let's see how he does. Hopefully Brian Silva doesn't block him. A lot of traffic coming onto the straight after turn 1 here. He does have the Red Bull with Cole Cummings right in front of him. So trying to leave early to get rid of that dirty air didn't really pay off, as he does have Cole Cummings in front of him on his out lap currently. That's going to slow down Garrett Elder. No,
that's just the unfortunate timing of it all, though.
Yeah, you can't really control that. That's hard to really account for. So you do want to leave the pits to be in front of people, just so you have that fresh air. So good on Cole Cummings. Just barely beating that Williams out in this blind lap.
Yeah, millimeters from the wall. Cole Cummings
slowing down in the swimming pool chicane.
Yeah.
Now finally letting Garrett Elder by.
Got some wing damage to the front left of Cole Cummings' Red Bull.
Oh, that's gonna go a good amount of time for him. Garrett Elder with a 1:10.8. You know, that could be faster.
Especially from holding up the Alpine of, I believe that's Brian Silva. Was just on his out lap. That might cost him a bit of speed, as it was right towards the end of the final turn.
Jack Pemberton setting the fastest lap so far with a 1:10.3. That's on the cusp of getting into Q1 there. It's going to be probably the bottom 110s, upper 109s, getting you into Q3. So, sticking in third gear through this whole section there, coming onto the straight. Here. Duncan setting a 109.7 on the mediums. That's really good for him.
Especially that should be a good enough time to push him through to Q3. It's a little bit on the borderline, but that should be enough in the end to make it through to Q3. If he's willing to take that risk, of course.
Alfonso Luis taking that fastest lap also on the mediums there, 109.4. That's what we're looking, probably the top 7 or 8 are going to be those 109s.
Yeah, and particularly now Peter Giordano and, as you said, Alfonso Luis. Those two times of 109.4, those are probably safe bets of staying in Q3.
Oh, absolutely. Probably going to say, as long as you're in the 109s, you should be okay to get into Q3 here. Looks like most of the drivers here opting to go for the medium strategy. Only a couple drivers, 4 drivers out on the softs. Sid and Dr. Xcode both setting their fastest laps so far on the softs. There's a good bit of tire dead on this track. A lot of grip can be lost on the softs after about 6 or 7 laps.
It looks like Victor Diaz is actually going on his fast lap right behind his teammate Jack Pemberton. Right through the tunnel. They're both decently close to each other. I wonder if there's a little bit of competition going. Oh, no.
Jack Pemberton let them free here.
Alright, good. Always good to see some teamwork. And Victor Diaz has set a fastest time for Sector 2. Can he finish it off with a fastest lap overall?
Currently 103 coming into the last turn here onto the straight.
It's going to be close.
Going to get a
He's not able to set a fastest lap. Yeah, not quite a fastest lap, but you are right. That
it is good enough for P5 at the moment. But we still have Brian Silva, Cole Cummings, Joel Gurin, Christoph Levant, and Jack Fletcher yet to set a lap about halfway through Q2.
Maybe they're letting all of the traffic clear out first. At least that's what I would be thinking if I were there, if I were in their situation. Excuse me. But yeah, Oh, wait, Brian Silva is leaving the pits now, going out to set his first lap of the second session.
Christoph Levant setting a 1:10.6, putting him up into 7th. Which leaves 4 drivers yet to set a lap with 8 minutes left in the session. And Joel Gurin completely skipping that chicane. He might go for another lap here.
He's going to have to at this point. Right now he has nothing set. And he's on a brand new set of mediums.
Oh no, he's coming back
into
the pits.
Into the pits.
He might have had front wing damage that we didn't know about. Coming with Brian Silva. Brian Silva about to start his fast lap here. Coming into the 3rd sector. Right behind Sid. You might want to leave a little bit of a gap for him. Just take this real nice and easy.
Take advantage of it being your out lap. You know, give yourself some distance between you and the car in front, because there's no guarantee Sid is going to go into the pits. Yeah, no, Sid's on his out lap too. If I were Brian, I'd be giving myself a bit more room.
Brian making contact there, and he's going right back into the pits while he's here.
That's a shame.
So we got Jack Fletcher about to start his... Oh, looks like we might have had the game crash here. Yeah, the game has crashed for us here, but we'll get it right back into it.
Oh. That's still a shame, though. This far into the session, and Brian Silva has yet to be able to set a lap time.
Does have another chance, though, to get a lap in.
Yeah. A little over 6 minutes left on the clock. He does have plenty of time to be able to get an out lap and a flying. Oh, and it also looks like Joel Gurin has also left the session. We're not sure why. Most likely his game crashed.
The connection issues coming from people here, but it should be okay.
Brian Silva is back out on the track, though. Going out into his out lap. The same set of mediums he had on before. Looks like he just got the wing damage repaired from possibly hitting that wall in the last turn.
Alright, we should be good to go here to jump back into this qualifying session. See how it finishes up. Alright, we're back into it now.
Excellent. Looks like we've got Brian Silva coming out of Sector 2, right into Sector 3, still on his out lap. And it looks to be a Williams and a Ferrari chasing each other through the final sector. I'm not sure what was the deal there. The Williams was on its in lap, however, it was not getting out of the way of the Ferrari.
From him there. Alright, Brian Silva starting his fast lap here, coming into turn 1, beats the car out of the pit lane there, and now he's got some free space in front of him. Closest car is the Ferrari, about 15 seconds ahead, so he should be good to go here.
He's got plenty of clean air for all that downforce to get to work. He's already set a fastest first sector.
Brian Silva's absolutely flying right now.
He gets a good exit from the turn going into the tunnel. See if he can follow up that fastest first sector with a fastest second coming into the harbor chicane.
Hitting 180 coming out of the tunnel there. It's a lot of speed to carry through.
He is able to set a fastest sector 2 as well.
Brian Silva on pace for the fastest lap of the session. Almost loses a little bit there towards the swimming pool chicane. And he's coming around. Let's see how he does.
Out of the final turn, down the pitch straight. This could be a sub 109.4. Just
Silva.
misses it with a 109.6.
If for your first lap to get in, that's really good for Brian Silva.
That is an excellent, and on the mediums nonetheless. This man has gone from having no lap time straight to P3. That's easily secured a Q3 spot for him.
Game is crashed again. I gotta apologize about that. I don't know.
If you got any problems with the game stability, take it up with EA, guys.
Managed to finish my full race with no issues. But once you try to watch it. Alright, we're gonna be coming back into it here.
Victor Diaz going out for another outlap, leaving the pits on the mediums this time.
EA Sports in the game.
Dr. Xcode tried to break his previous lap time, however he's not able to. He stays P9 with a 110.6. Still making it to Q3 if the results stay. That doesn't look likely, with 2 drivers yet to set a lap time, and the other 3 who would be eliminated from this round looking to get at least one more lap in.
Working here.
Oh, and it looks like Cole Cummings has just gone P6 with a 109.9, just barely breaking the 110 time.
Back into it now. Hopefully. Hopefully the game's calmed down a little bit.
Well, let's hope so. Dr. Xcode, I believe this is his 2nd or 3rd straight flying lap.
See what he's got.
This very well could be an in lap, though, considering he is in low fuel mode. He did, however, move from P10 to P9.
That is
With a 110.3.
on the cusp for Dr. Xcode. Still a really good performance from him.
Oh, yes. Getting out of the way. Looks like... How's he... Oh! What was that? It looks like Victor Diaz has just hit the wall in the poolside chicane. Just grazing it. Might have some wing damage. Coming into the pitch straight. Will he be able to break his time of 110.5?
See a
He
bit of
is.
a
He's able to
lead
move
from
into
the Alfa
P9.
Romeo on the start-finish straight there. Yeah, Sid and Ethan in the pit, so don't know exactly which one that was.
Checkered flag is out. We've got Jack Pemberton trying to make a desperate bid to try and move up out of 5th place. Possibly set a better lap time. Or maybe just go straight into the pits.
Though. This is...
Yes.
There's no real reason to risk hitting the car somewhere. He's in a pretty safe position. Dr. Xcode, though, the one in danger here.
Jack Pemberton did just set a fastest 2nd sector, though. He is going into the pits, though. Huh. Just wanted to get back in quickly, I guess.
Just get a little bit of extra practice then, never hurt anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Right now in danger, we got Christoph Levant and Gabriel DeVries.
Gabe DeVries is able to move into P3. He has secured a spot in Q3. Victor Diaz is desperately fighting for the last spot in Q3 with Christoph Levant, who's just now coming around the final. Oh, Christoph Levant's time has been invalidated. It looks like Victor Diaz will have secured his spot in Q3.
And it looks like that's everybody coming in. Dr. Xcode getting knocked out by Gabriel DeVries there.
Wow. Such a great performance from Dr. Xcode, though. Almost into Q3 and very high up in Q2.
Dr. Exo looks like he is going to be starting in 11th position here. Middle of the pack, not bad for the B2 driver.
Definitely not a bad showing at all.
It should be just about everybody. Just
I'm
waiting
seeing
on
all
the
the
game
checkered flags on my screen, so...
Yeah, just waiting for the game to figure it out here. Might be waiting for the McLaren to come into the pits. Do still have a couple cars coming out. Alright. There it is. This is your top 10 going into Q3. Peter Giordano on the medium tire with a 109.4 as your fastest lap. Followed up by Alfonso Luis, then Gabriel. Gabriel is the only soft runner in the top 6. That is interesting to see how that's going to work out for him. Maybe he's banking on an early safety car. Don't know. Then you got Brian Silva, 4th place. Duncan McCamick, Jack Pemberton finishing up the 3rd row. Cole Cummings, Garen Elder in the 4th row. And Jack Fletcher, Victor Diaz just scraping by into that 10th position.
I'm going to say it right now. This is not the top 10 I expected to be going into it. Of course, there are some that I expect to be going into it, but definitely we're missing a few that I could have sworn would have been in this final qualifying session.
Yeah, this is a very interesting top 10. That's the way Monaco is. You got some people who are fast on just about every other track that can really just not have it on Monaco. It's a very intricate, technical track.
Oh yeah, very different from the likes of, say, Spa, where it's plenty of high-speed and mid-speed corners. Monaco is all about the, like you said, the technical aspect of it.
Be real interesting seeing how everyone can come in here. Sid Sadigar, not quite loading in yet. Hopefully that'll work out. Not too sure. I know there is a glitch with the new game where you can get stuck in a loading screen just because one person can't load in. Hopefully that's not the case here.
Oh, man.
See here, I don't know if anybody's saying anything.
You know, do we know what part of the world Sid is trying to load in from? Because I know we have a lot of U.S. based drivers, but also a few British and Indian ones.
I am actually not too sure about Sid, where he's from.
That could have something to do with the long loading
All right,
time.
Sid, looks like he tagged back into the game. He's good to go.
All right.
Good deal. All right.
If you're just joining us, we've just started our Q3 session. We're just a few seconds into it. Top 10 currently as it stands, both Alpines, both Red Bulls, both Mercedes, both AlphaTauris.
Like the Williams, is that Garrett Elder beating everybody?
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, I think that might be Garrett Elder, yeah, followed by Brian Silva in the Alpine.
That's twice
Quickly
now Garrett
by-
Elder's been the first person out.
Yeah, Peter Giordano in the Aston Martin.
A little bit of an advantage being on the Williams team, having the last stop in the pit lane there.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I'll be curious to see what kind of numbers this group of 10 will pull from this session.
They've
You
got
think we'll
a
see
bunch of.
108, 107s even?
We should be able to. It's going to be a shootout. They all have fresh softs they get to use. You don't carry these softs into the race, so you can just burn them up as much as you want to. We got Garrett Elder starting his flying lap here.
Looks like there was an issue in Sector 2. There's yellow flags thrown. Looks to be it was Duncan McCamick had gone into the runoff area for unknown reasons. He's driven away now, though.
He might have just been letting somebody by, not too sure.
The thing is, there wasn't much traffic around him at the time. Maybe he just overcooked it a bit, was able to save it.
Yeah,
Spare him any wind damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair for him. Garrett Elder setting an 18-second first sector there, coming into the second sector through the hairpin. Not carrying a lot of speed through these turns, but just trying to get a nice safe banker lap in, something to fall back on if
Very
anything
clean
does
exit from the
happen.
tunnel. Or going into the tunnel, excuse me.
Yeah, Elder hitting 180 coming out of the tunnel there. It's a lot of speed to carry into that tight chicane. Having to slam on the brakes.
Oh, just barely missing that outside wall. Kissing the curbs. Right
Elder
past the full side chicane.
making
Garrett
use of
Elder on
all the track.
Yeah, on a blistering lap right now.
This is going to be the best condition the track's going to be in. All that worn rubber in. It's going to be really good for the drivers. That's a decent lap for Garrett Elder there, a 109. Here, Giordano sitting on 108. Oh, actually, it looks like Garrett Elder may have invalidated somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter is setting that first 108 of the session, though. That's a flying lap from him. That's insane.
Ooh, Victor Diaz coming in with a 115.3. Not his best work that we've seen so far, but I'm sure he's got plenty more in him.
Yeah, Victor Diaz is a very fast driver. He'll definitely set a better lap than that later on in the session.
It looks like he may have some wing damage, I believe.
Oh, that makes sense. Duncan McCamick coming on. See what kind of lap time he sets here.
Duncan McCamick with a 109.3. Wow.
That is a pretty good lap from him, but Peter's lap just sitting there making them all look a little silly.
I think
insane lap
this time
for
Peter Giordano may be the man to beat on track.
He may be. If he can hold that pole position, that's huge for Monaco. Passing so difficult. Only about 3 or 4 spots on the track you can even try to pass anybody here.
And with how past races have gone, really the only place you can, or the only time you can try and pass is either coming out of the pits or at the start of the race.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Cole Cummings looks like he bent into the wall somewhere.
Oh.
He's got to stick with that 110.5 time that he's got. That's unfortunate for him.
At the hairpin, yellow flag in sector 2.
Yeah.
Looks like Cole Cummings might be, is out of this qualifying session, but he might not be out of 6th position. However, I don't see it like he can hold it.
He's gonna hold, yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna need a miracle to hold it.
Brian Silva might have wing damage from that. Cutting the chicane there, not even trying to go past it.
Yeah, Brian Silva also on low fuel mode.
Oh, okay. So he's pulling to the pits here. Alfonso Luis about to start his flying lap. Doesn't look like he had any damage from the incident in the hairpin. Here he goes. Guess that has that DRS open. This turn 1's huge. You can gain so much time on this turn 1. Almost maybe a 10th or 2 if you can just take it right.
The problem is you've got to cut it exactly right, because it's just wide enough where if you go in too sharp, you'll end up invalidating. Oh my gosh!
Alfonso having a little bit of a moment there.
Yeah. Remember, he's able to save it. Doesn't cost him too much time, it looks like, but that still is definitely not going to be beneficial to securing pole position.
At least half a second lost there, just not being able to carry that speed. Hitting the brakes there. See what kind of lap he can put in. Definitely could be faster than Victor, but I don't know if he's going to be able to beat out that 7th spot here. Taking that curve, the swimming pool chicane really well. Coming into the last turn here.
Down the pitch straight goes Alfonso Luis. Can he salvage what was a pretty nasty spin?
Alfonso Luis
almost bins it in the first sector. Comes out on almost on top in P2 with a 108.9.
You know he would have set the fastest lap there without that moment. Oh man, that's a great lap from Alfonso. Way to save it and bring it back for a killer lap there.
Excellent work from Alfonso Luis right there. If he's able to clean up that first sector, that would have been pole position.
Yeah. He does have another chance, though. We're getting to that point where you only got maybe 1 or 2 more laps you're going to be able to take here.
Yeah, people got to start deciding now or never. Right now, like we've got Brian Silva and Duncan McCamick both on outlap, relatively close to each other too.
Victor Diaz taking his fast lap here, it looks like. Not too sure. He's not carrying a lot of speed here.
Yeah, especially down. Yeah, he doesn't look to be going too hard for it.
Yeah.
Which is still odd because he did shave off a few hundredths of a second out of his first sector, setting the fastest first sector as well.
No ERS use through here. He might just be letting those tires warm up. Set another lap here. He's going to be really cutting it close, though, if anything does happen on this next lap. He's not going to be able to get another flying lap in.
No.
Yeah, looks like Victor Diaz is just going to be feeling it out here.
Oh, one of the Alpines has spun. Brian Silva has spun at the bottom of the hairpin on his flying lap, nonetheless.
Brian Silva losing his wing there. That's killer for him. He is
That
one of the
could
fastest.
be the end of his qualifying. Depending on how long that wing damage takes to fix, this could be the end of Brian's qualifying.
It's really interesting with the wing damage in the qualifying sessions here. They can take 15 seconds to fix it, or they can take 4 minutes. It just depends on how it rolls. I'm not quite sure what the determining factor is on the time there, but yeah, Brian Silva trying to fly back into the pits here. See if he can
Definitely
set another
struggling
lap.
with keeping the car under control.
He does have enough time, if it is a short wing change here, to get back out on track and set another lap.
That's the question of the moment, though. Will Brian Silva be able to take another lap? Or has that little spin at the end of the hairpin cost him?
Jack Pemberton starting his flying lap here still has yet to set a time with less than 3 minutes left in the session. This is his one chance, to be honest.
Yeah, nothing like waiting until the last minute, I'll tell you that.
Hugging that wall. Nailing the apex there. Pretty fast in the first sector from him. Coming into the hairpin.
Wide entry, good exit on the hairpin, too.
It's a great exit from him. Hope he doesn't invalidate, taking a little bit too much curve there.
Still going.
See how he takes the chicane here.
Good, nice clean exit on the chicane.
Okay, good lap from Jack Pemberton. I guess it's better late than never from him. Coming into the swimming pool sector, jumping that curve, almost losing it. Saw a little bit of understeer from him.
Very clean into the last two corners, coming down onto the pitch straight. DRS wide open. Jack Pemberton might be able to secure third or fourth. Jack Pemberton only 7th. P7 with a 109.7. Wow.
Still a lot better than having no lap for Jack Pemberton.
Oh, exactly.
Hopefully Jack Fletcher can set a better lap. The 111, really weird to see here in Q3. He's been having a couple issues here. He is on his out lap currently.
Oh, aggressively warming those tires. Peter going out for another lap.
Huh.
Wow.
I don't know if he has enough time to make it back around or not. It's going to be a race to the finish.
It certainly will. I believe he feels he's under threat from Alfonso Luis, who's just started its flying lap. Yeah, he's going for it. He's really cooking now. Absolutely flying as he goes into Casino Square. Alfonso Luis and Peter Giordano fighting it out for pole position. Question is whether or not Peter can make it to the finish line in the next 33 seconds. Oh, God. Straight just cutting the harbor chicane. I don't blame him. You need every second you can get to try and get to that finish line. He's got 23 seconds left.
He might as well just take everything he can get.
Yeah. Oh.
Peter, stopping.
Come to a complete stop. This could have cost him another lap.
That is
he going to be able to make it with 5 seconds to go? He's made it across the line. Peter Giordano will get another lap. Those are coming on his teammate Alfonso Luis. Coming around on the pit straight. Can he get Pete? He takes fastest lap. Provisional pole for Alfonso Luis at 108.5.
That's an insane lap from Alfonso. Alfonso, Peter, and Duncan all within just about a tenth of each other in the top 3. Duncan's going
Peter
to stick with his lap.
Giordano is on a set of fresh softs. That could be the difference maker for him to try and get around on Alfonso Luis's 108.5.
If Jack Fletcher's pulled into the pits, looks like he's just going to live with his 111. Going to be starting P10 here.
Peter Giordano just millimeters from the wall. Sets up.
Currently-
Oh, his lap's
no.
invalidated.
Looks
Oh,
like
and
Peter's
that is
not gonna
it
get
for
pulled
Peter
here.
Giordano. Oh my goodness.
Peter was the last one out on track here. That's going to
Wow.
stick Peter in P2. Still not a bad finish from him. Still
No.
insane coming from Peter there.
That's the battle we're going to want to watch. Alfonso Luis versus Peter Giordano.
And
Top
Duncan,
2.
only 3 100ths behind Peter Giordano.
Oh, yeah, Duncan. Don't even count him out of it just yet. This top 3 is super... The top 4 even. Super close. This could
So
be a
this
very
2 and
interesting
3
first lap.
session, within about... Yeah, within 8/10 of each other until you get to Cole Cummings and Jack Fletcher. Both struggle a little bit, not able to get into the 109s there. But Alfonso Luis is going to start pole position, P1 for him. Peter Giordano and P2 locking out the front row. Duncan McCamick setting an insane lap from him to get P3. Jack Pemberton, P4. Garrett Elder in P5. Gabriel DeVries in P6. Brian Silva, P7. Victor Diaz, P8. And Cole Cummings and Jack Fletcher round out your top 10 here. That's really...
Wow.
Top 4, only 2/10 separating them.
This is certainly shaping up to be a very exciting race at Monaco. I never thought I'd hear those words in my life.
See how turn 1 turns out for them here. As we come in,
Ooh,
we're going to get
the
our
dreaded-
formation lap in. Hopefully they're going to get a chance to warm up the tires. And then Sandoval is going to be real interesting for a lot of these drivers.
If anyone's just joining the stream now, we've yet to start the race. In fact, we have 15 minutes till formation, or excuse me, 15 seconds till formation lap.
While we're on that formation lap, let's take a look at the standings here, see what's going on. Eric McCurney currently leading the Drivers' Championship with 44 points, followed closely by Duncan McCamick. Peter Giordano, third place with 38 points. That's gonna be a battle right there. Brian Silva in fourth, not too far behind with 33. Alfonso Luis, our pole sitter here, is in sixth place with 29 championship points.
This is going to be an especially close fight for Eric McNerney, considering he's starting in what I believe it's P16.
Yeah, P16 for Eric, our championship leader. You know he's got to be disappointed with that. He's just going to try and have to save some points here. Hopefully he can make up some time, keep his nose clean. That's going to be the biggest thing here, is if you can keep your front wing for the whole race, you're probably going to get top 5.
That will guarantee you some points, yeah.
Yeah. But Duncan McCamick, the guy with the most to gain here, if he does keep Eric McCurney and Peter Giordano behind him here, he can take lead of this championship.
Now for strategy, what do you think most people are going to go for? The one stop or the two stop?
Like they're going to try for the one stop, mediums to hards. Sounds like it's probably going to be best for them.
But the guys at the back with essentially nothing to lose at this point, it could be worth trying a two stop and getting some blistering laps on the mediums and then soft.
Could be, yeah. I feel like our race leaders here, you're going to see a lot of mediums to hards.
Oh yeah.
Depends if there's a safety car or not, who loses their front wing and just has to get a tire change. This is the track that's notorious for knocking the most drivers out of the race here.
All right, as we approach the grid,
Nobody's eking
lap-
out of the formation lap.
starting up very soon, we'll be going on to lap 1 of 39. 19 cars on the grid. A tight top 3, all within about, I believe it was a tenth or two.
Yeah, the top 4 were within about a tenth and a half of each other. Let's see what we got here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Start of the Monaco Grand Prix in 2021. It's 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a good start from Duncan McCamick, immediately up into P1. It looks like Alfonso Luis falling all the way back down the order to P18.
The Alpine is slightly in front of Duncan McCamick here. Duncan McCamick, they're in the Red Bull, able to take P2 here. Followed closely by the Aston Martin
Oh yeah.
of Peter Giordano. A little bit of a timing glitch. It's pretty common with this game. But
Yeah,
hopefully
wow.
it'll sort itself out.
I was reading some messed up boards.
It's all good. It's all good. Should sort
Apologies to
itself
the
out.
viewers.
For some reason, there's blue flags out.
There
for
we go.
somebody.
Blue flags already, I tell you.
The game's a little confused with all these drivers coming in so close to each other, but as they cross the line, it should sort itself out. Yeah, okay, so
Alright, yep.
P1 still Alfonso Luis, P2 Duncan McCamick moving up in front of Peter Giordano.
Jack Pemberton holding on just to the rear end of Peter Giordano. However, it doesn't look like much is happening right now in changing of the order. Looks like Duncan is pretty much well secured his P2 from Peter Giordano for the moment.
So yeah, Joel Garrett moving up 4 places to 8. Ethan Patel moving up 4 places to 11. Christoph
We've now
Laurent
got
back into the top 10.
We've now got 6 cars in the pits. Cole Cummings, Dr. Xcode, Gabe DeVries, wow, Saul Goodman,
Ryan
Ryan Hackman, and Eric McNerney all in the pits.
Eric McNerney currently sitting in last place, the championship leader.
Mm.
That's got to be rough for him. That was, as long as he can keep it clean the rest of the race, he might be good, but that is rough to see. Duncan trying to stay within 1 second of Alfonso, that way he can get that DRS and the start-finish straight. Save a little bit of time as they come into the swimming pool chicane here. Sliding around a little bit. These mediums do have a lot less grip than the softs. You gotta be a little careful on these turns here. You can't take them with as much speed.
Duncan McCamick setting a faster lap than current race leader Alfonso Luis by about a few tenths of a second, with DRS now being enabled.
Duncan McCamick currently 1.8 seconds behind Alfonso Luis, though even if he is a little bit faster, he is outside that DRS range. He's got to make up a good bit of time here.
Oh, he's going to have to make up 8 tenths of a second. Now 9 tenths.
That is a big thing about this track, is you can be close to the car, but still be out of that 1 second gap.
Oh yeah. Even that 1 DRS zone sometimes might not even be enough. It's just barely long enough to have a DRS zone in it.
A little bit of a moment in that chicane there. Losing another 10th on Alfonso Luis.
Alfonso's just in the zone right now, cranking out laps, trying to put as much distance between him and the cars behind.
Alfonso's having a great start to this race. Currently 2 seconds ahead of Duncan McCamick. Yeah, this is Alfonso's race to lose currently, setting the new fastest lap with a 1:11.7, about 700s faster than Duncan McCamick's. Looks like Christoph Levant's making a move. Oh no, he's coming into the pits here.
Another 3 cars into the pits. Both Mercedes drivers have come into the pits this race already. Looks like both for new front wings. And Jack Fletcher leaving the pits on the soft tire. Interesting choice.
Interesting battle for what is now 11th after they pass the pit wall here. The Mercedes coming up the inside of the Red Bull of Cole Cummings. Taking that position from Cole's driving back into 12th
will
place
have
here.
the advantage, though.
Yeah, that's one of the few places you can pass is in Sandyvote there. It is a little risky, though, as they did make contact. Hopefully neither of them took any damage, though. Looks like just a little bit of a tire rub. Cole Cummings is on the hard tires, though. He might try to finish the race on these. You're able to, but you're going to be losing a lot of grip at the end. Yeah.
Yes.
Alpine and Brian Silva in the DRS range of Garrett Elder here as they come into turn 1.
Brian's still hungry. He's wanting to catch back up to his other Alpine teammate, Alfonso Luis, currently the leader. He's looking to take... Oh, it looks like Jack Fletcher has received a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
It's probably corner cutting
track limits.
Or track limits, yeah.
Yeah. That one chicane by the harbor is definitely one where people try and take as much off as they can.
Yeah, going fast in this track means, you know, being on the limit of corner cutting and staying just barely on the track. You do have to keep 2 wheels out of the curb, though, at all times. Brian Silva losing a lot of time that he gained back here on Garrett Elder. Currently a little over a second behind him.
About 1.2 behind. Slowly starting to take some of it back through that, through the grandstand chicane.
This is going to be out of the DRS range, though, for this one. Oh, no, he does have DRS coming into it. Gained a lot of time in that last chicane there.
8/10 separate Brian Silva in a top 5 position so far.
It's really good. Looks like Jack Fletcher's trying to make a move. He does have 3 seconds of penalties. Making a move on the Alfa Romeo. Ethan Patel is going to back out of it, but following real closely behind him.
Alfonso Luis just opening up the gap between himself and the rest of the field. Duncan McCamick in P2, 2.6, almost 2.7 seconds behind Alfonso Luis.
Brian Ackerman also picking up a 3-second penalty for track limits there. Eric McCurney's been able to move from last place back up into 17th, which is where I think he started from. And now he's back up into 16. Yeah. Eric McCurney, he does have the pace to challenge the front runners, but Monaco being the way it is,
he's not going to be able to pass enough.
Can't catch up, yeah. Currently 5 seconds off of Jack Fletcher, who looks... The Mercedes looking at the Alfa Romeo here, trying to find a gap where he can pass.
Duncan McCamick using his overtake button to try and cut down the gap between himself and Alfonso.
Duncan McCamick currently about 30% of DRS, gonna have to save it. But he also has built that 2-second gap to Peter Giordano, so it is good for him.
Yeah.
It's looking like our top 3 are pretty safe in their positions currently, though.
I'd even go so far as to say top 4. Really, the only 2 battling it out right now would be Garrett Elder and Brian Silva.
And Silva
currently about, what is that, 0.8, 0.7 seconds apart?
Yeah, Brian Silva hasn't been able to find the moment to be able to pass Garrett Elder here. He's been looking for it, but it's been kind of rough on him.
Ooh.
Is that a... Yeah, that's a...
Yellow and
oh!
63.
That's Brian Hackeman out of the race. Let's see if we can catch it.
Wow.
Yeah, Brian Hackeman was struggling all race, and he finally lost it there.
At least he's not in the racing line, so that shouldn't hinder people too hard.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's been able to make their way past him.
Yeah, God forbid that anyone tries to make a pass in that section until they get that wreckage cleared up.
That's rough for Brian Hackeman. I hate to see it.
That's just poor luck at this point.
The other Brian Silva, still hanging in there, only 7/10 behind.
He's slowly making up the ground.
And the Haas of... Who is that? Is that Saul Goodman? No, that's Christophe Levant trying to unlap himself. keeping pace with Brian Silva and Garrett Elder, but currently is sitting in last place and having to pit so many times here. So yeah, we got Christophe Levant with 2 stops.
Oh, and it looks like, excuse me, it looks like Ethan Patel has received a 3-second time penalty as well. Multiple warnings, probably either track limits or corner cutting. Man, that's just what's getting people now.
Yeah, just a couple drivers coming out here with penalties.
Oh,
Looks like Garrett Elder's made the move.
Yeah, Jack Pemberton has gone into the pits. Not sure why. Might be going in. Yep, looks like for a new wing. New front wing and on the set of hards, Jack Pemberton has gone into the pits. Currently in P7, now 8.
Jack Pemberton should be able to stay in the top 10 here coming out of the pit. It is rough for him though, because he was hanging in there.
That does go to show you, nobody is safe, not even the leaders. Not on a track like Monaco. Slightest mistake is very punishing. And now Jack Fletcher, another 3-second time penalty.
It's going to put Jack Fletcher in an effective P16 here, as he is going to lose a spot to Ethan Patel. Dr. Xcode moving down. Dr. Xcode in the pits? Yeah, Dr. Xcode. Going slow on the start-finish straight. I don't know.
Something's happened
what's
with Jack
happened
Fletcher.
with him. I know. They had Dr. Xcode. Okay, Dr. Xcode's coming out of the pits. I just had him on the start-finish for some reason. It's a little
Yeah, a bit of a
interesting.
graphical glitch for me.
Yeah. It should have them sorting themselves out now. Jack Fletcher finally coming out of the pits here.
Duncan McCamick making a massive time, what's it called, gain on Alfonso Luis. Cut down from 2.3 to now 1.8 seconds.
And he's built that gap up on Peter Toledano too. That's now a 4-second gap to third place.
This is slowly turning into a 2-horse race here.
Yeah.
A 1.7.
Duncan definitely being a little bit pacer than Alfonso now.
Yeah. Duncan does seem to be a lot more aggressive with his ERS usage, I'll give him that. That could be what's giving him the upper hand.
Hopefully he can save it to make a pass though. You do need it in this track to make a pass.
Oh yeah.
Gain a lot of time here. Currently 1.6, 1.5 coming into the last turn here.
Oh my goodness.
Just barely
Still
out
out of
of
DRS range. The fact that Duncan McCamick is making up so much ground on Alfonso Luis without DRS leads me to
still
believe that.
half his battery.
Yeah.
Really managing that ERS usage well.
Wow. And the speed up. Blue flags for one of the Williams cars now.
Duncan not held up too much by that Williams.
Lost about a half a second on that.
It is rough to see all that time he gained just to be killed by back markers there. Definitely have to check back in on that. Jack Pemberton trying to make a move out of 9th place here. Currently 6/10 down from Sid. Looking to gain some of those places back he lost with that wing change. Real close coming out of the hairpin.
Looks like Sid Sadigar running on the soft tires. Loses it a bit coming out into the entrance
there
of
it
the
is.
tunnel.
Jack makes his move. Sid went a little bit too wide there. Not be able to carry any speed out of the chicane. Out of that turn.
Grazes the wall in the tunnel. We might see Sid coming into the pits.
Sid have damage on his front wing.
He is on 10-lap-old softs as well.
Oh,
at a track like Monaco, that'll go quickly.
Yeah.
He should start getting a massive. Oh yeah, much drop off.
Losing the back end there in the swimming pool chicane. He should come into the pits here, and yeah, that's what we're gonna see.
And he does.
All right. A little bit of a timing glitch here, as it has Jack Pemberton in 5th place. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I also see Joel Gurin in 4th. I'm not sure if that's correct either. Yeah, there we go.
Looks like it's sort of
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, a little bit. Gotta call EA about these timing glitches and see what's
Honestly.
going on. But Duncan, back, just barely at 2 seconds, trying to catch up to Alfonso. Losing a little
Garrett
bit of
Elder
time
on
here.
14% battery, using his overtake button. Desperately trying to hold off Brian Silva, who's now 0.3 of a second behind. It looks like he's
Brian
going to try and
Silva.
make a pass on the pitch straight, excuse me.
Yeah, Brian Silva in that DRS range now. Might go for a move here on the
He's
inside.
not going to be able to hit it.
No DRS from Garrett Elder.
Wow. That is very surprising.
This is a tight battle. The Mercedes behind keeping up. That might be Christophe Levant.
And Victor Diaz with a 3-second time penalty. Another multiple warnings.
That's rough to see from him. Another timing glitch here. It says Joel Gurn is in first place. I don't think that's true.
Well, you know what they say, F1 is the sport where anything can happen, right?
Yeah. So it looks
There we
like
go.
it is going to be
Now we're
Alfonso, Duncan, Peter as your top three still. But Duncan
Duncan having
5
clawed
second
back
gap.
that half a second he lost to traffic a while back.
And he's built a 5-second gap on Peter Giordano.
That, quite frankly,
no
is probably the
catching
most
these two.
important part. He's
Yeah.
putting distance between himself and Peter.
No pressure on Duncan to get past right now. He just has to focus on setting these laps, catching up to Alfonso Luis. Kind of interested to see how the pit strategy is going to go for either one of them. Where is the opportunity for an under or an overcut from them?
Brian Silva did have DRS going down the main straight, still not able to make a move on Garrett Elder.
And Garrett Elder doing a great job holding off Brian Silva.
It's just
put a
attack
ton of
after
pressure
attack
on.
after attack. Yeah. And only with 20% battery.
We got to think about how much
Brian
time they're
Silva's only
losing
got
here
100.
too.
Yeah.
Battling this whole race. Pretty much since we started, they've been within half a second of each other. Brian Silva desperately looking for an opportunity to get past. That way he can just start setting some fast laps here.
Garrett Elder still holding on with about 20% battery on his ERS system.
Brian Silva at 93% battery. He's got it all to work with.
I think
Just
Brian's
letting
going to
this
go
race
for an overtake push here on the final straight. If he can get DRS, that's going to be a close one.
He should. Yeah, Garrett Elder in DRS range here. Gonna see it open up. Currently 7
Yeah,
tenths
Brian
back.
Silva, DRS wide open. He's not emptying the tank as much as we
Garrett
thought he would
Elder
there.
using no ERS on the straight there.
Yeah.
Not too worried. He's using all here though, currently down to 15%. And I see that red light blinking in the back indicating that he is under 20%. It is gonna cue Brian Silva that he might have to push here. This could be his chance. Yeah, the Williams of Garrett Elder doing a great defensive drive here.
Seems like the battle between Duncan McCamick and Alfonso Luis kind of come to a stalemate. Duncan's been holding it about 2 seconds behind Alfonso.
Yeah, Duncan
Not
may
really
just be
doing much
settling
there.
into a groove here. You know, let the race come to him. There's no reason
Yellow
to push
flag
him.
in sector 2.
Victor Diaz out of the race in
Oh my
P6.
DNF, Victor Diaz. Wow.
Looks like it happened in the tunnel. Yeah, up right in
Yeah.
the exit to the tunnel there. Victor Diaz. You can get a lot of oversteer in that tunnel and just slings you into the wall.
Yeah. Wow.
That's rough for him. Victor Diaz is having a great race. See, Victor Diaz still in P9 from how many lapped cars there are from the pit stops here.
Oh, now there's a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Not sure what that was thrown for. No longer there.
Just with someone going slow out of the corner there, not too sure. But Brian Silva losing a little bit of time on Garrett Elder here, now outside that 1 second range. Not sure if anything calls that or not.
Still looks to be tight battle between Garrett Elder and Brian Silva.
Zach Fletcher keeping up, just following the faster drivers here, just trying to stay there. Get some good times in.
Wow, Brian Silva now 1.2 seconds, but still somehow has the DRS. But
Point
my
9.
timing seems... Wow.
I got a 0.9. Yeah, just barely within that
There.
1 second range. Garrett Elder, 6% ERS usage. He has none for this lap. He's going to have to save it. Well, Brian Silva's got it all to work with 90%.
Garrett's been defending Saul Goodman, 3-second time penalty. I know, Garrett has been defending wonderfully this whole race. The question is, as the pressure builds with Brian constantly having his ERS full, and Garrett being on the lower end, will he be able to hold up?
On some old medium tires, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, everyone on the 16-lap old medium tires. We're going to see a lot of fall-off starting to happen here. Just not the grip to be able to make a dive bomb or anything they want to make here.
Oh, Saul Goodman, it looks like, has just passed Dr. X code to get into P15. However, he is going to need more of a gap between himself and the Ferrari if he wants to hold this position. I believe he has a 3-second time penalty.
Does have that penalty. Just has to keep in that DRS range of Saul Goodman. Now, does Brian Silva pit early here? Just get on the faster tire and try to set a better lap than Garrett Elder?
If I were Brian, I'd try and go for the undercut. Gabe DeVries, 3-second time penalty. But yeah, if I was Brian in the Alpine, I'd try and go for the undercut on Garrett Elder.
He's getting held up a lot by Garrett Elder here. Just let him go, get your better tires on, and just try to set a fast lap.
I mean, it looks like if he were to pit, he would have a relatively clear window to come out into.
We should see a couple drivers start to pit here. Alfonso Luis been pushing this whole race.
Oh,
You know, his
Duncan
tires-
McCamick, 0.7 behind Alfonso Luis now.
Yeah, Duncan McCamick's starting to make this push.
Oh, and
This is his chance.
both of them go into the pits.
Yeah, there we go. So,
Alright.
both our leaders here coming into the pits. A
Yeah.
little bit of a graphical glitch saying that Duncan's on the start-finish straight.
Looks like Peter
Bronze
Giordano is the
Levi.
new race leader. Can he set a faster lap to try and put some distance between himself and second, I guess now,
Elder,
the
Brian
former two
Silva,
leaders,
and
Duncan
Peter.
and Alfonso.
Yeah, Garrett Elder, Brian Silva, Peter Giordano, rounding out your new top three. But they are on this 18-lap old medium tires. They're going to have to come in. So Duncan McCamick currently... Is he ahead of Alfonso out of the pit?
I believe he was. Yeah, Duncan
Duncan
has made the
McCamick.
pass on Alfonso.
That Red Bull pit team just coming in clutch
Wow.
for Duncan.
Now with a 5-second gap on Alfonso.
Did Alfonso have wing damage? Is that why he came in?
That could be it.
Yeah,
That would be
Alfonso
my
might have
guess as
had
to-
wing damage.
Yeah, that would be my guess as to why he came out so far behind.
Yeah, Duncan McCamick, lots of clear air in front of him. Plenty of opportunity to make this gap work for him.
Oh yeah.
This race has really come to Duncan now out of that pit stop. That's impressive.
Brian Silva now just half a second behind Garrett Elder.
So
Coming into-
surprising to see them not
Coming
pit
into
here.
turn 1 at Santavat. Still doesn't make it. Around Garrett Elder. Right
Brian
on
Silva's been looking for
rear
him.
end. Garrett Elder still holding about 10% on the battery.
Brian Silva's got all of his battery to work with. Garrett Elder's been really pushing to keep him behind, but I don't know how much longer he can do that.
Brian Silva takes a bit of a tighter apex. Oh, he's right on him.
That bumper to bumper there, or wing to wing in this case, through the hairpin. Between Brian and Garrett here has been the one to watch. They've really
Yeah.
been the only drivers that have been pushing each other this whole race.
Now the pack has definitely spread itself out, although Joel Gurn is looking to make a move on Gabe DeVries. Jack Fletcher has
another
received.
penalty.
Yeah, corner cutting this time. Jack Fletcher is just stacking him up. I feel bad for the guy because the limits are so... Oh, and he's missing a wing too. This is not turning out to be Jack Fletcher's race.
Rough to see for him.
The limits are so strict on Monaco.
Be careful. Looks
don't
like one of the
believe him.
Alpines is serving a stop-go penalty in the pits. That's going to be Brian Silva.
Oh, Brian Silva. When did he get a stop go? Or
Got
what's it
him
called?
stuck in the
Penalty.
pits? I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
It may be a graphical glitch or something.
Oh, all right.
Huh.
Well, Brian Silva.
Brian Silva P5 right behind Alfonso here. Hopefully he can set a good lap. Come on ahead of Garrett and Peter.
Yeah, hopefully. Although with that, looks to be that glitch, I don't think that Brian's going to be able to make up the spots Garrett, or he needs to catch up to Garrett, excuse me.
That was a rough pit stop for Brian. I don't know exactly what happened there.
Well, now Peter Giordano, race leader with a 6-second gap between himself and second place, seems to be doing just fine on the 20-lap-old mediums.
Yeah, he's finding the grip with them. But you gotta think about how much longer that's gonna last. I don't see those mediums lasting too much longer. And the race leaders seem to have agreed. They've already come in.
Yeah. Peter might be trying to build up enough to... Oh, yellow flag. Oh, yellow flag in Sector 2. It seems like someone hit a wall.
It
One
may
of
have
the
been Dr.
Williams, it looks like.
Xcode. Dr. Xcode got a penalty for track limits.
Ah.
Not too sure which one that was.
Peter Giordano desperately trying to make up time between himself and the rest of the field so that when he does pit, he'll come back out in a relatively good spot.
That's the goal for him here. Hopefully he can take advantage of this clear air and that the old tires don't hold him up too much.
Stays out again. Blasting down the pit straight. Coming in at 175 to turn 1.
Here, Giordano laying on that ERS through there. Christopher wanted another set of penalties here. That's rough for him.
6 of the 17 drivers, oh excuse me, now 7 of the 17 drivers given at least one penalty this race.
Who we got on the penalties here? Yeah, Jack Fletcher with 9 seconds, Christophe Levant with 6, and Joel Gurman, Ethan, Gabriel DeVries, Dr. Xcode, and Saul Goodman all with 3-second time penalties here. I don't know about Peter and Garrett staying out this long on these tires.
I know, it's absolutely
Garrett's
insane.
being held up by back markers, it looks like here.
Hopefully, if you're Peter Giordano, what you're wanting right now is for Garrett to get held up more and more by traffic.
Garrett should just pit here, just let the back markers get out of his way. But no, he's gonna take another lap.
Peter and Garrett wanting to go as long as they can on the medium tire.
Looks like they're going for the medium to soft strategy, just keep the pacier tires on.
Jack Fletcher with the new fastest lap of 1:10.4 for Mercedes on the soft tire.
Excellent from him. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to hold. See how many of these top 10 runners are just going to pit for softs and just take the fastest lap from that. We may have a little bit of a timing glitch coming out here. Is Brian Silva in first place for us, but he definitely isn't. It should still be Duncan McCamick, I do believe, looking at the map here. He's about to hit some back markers. Yep, there's the Ferrari of what I think is Dr. Xcode. Flag's coming up for Duncan McCamick.
Peter Giordano still not coming into the pits.
Yeah, or Garrett Elder, both of them staying out. And
That's a battle of attrition between these two.
I guess they want to try and make it to lap 30 and they get on the softs and just stay pacey, but
I suppose, but I don't know how much longer these mediums are going to last at the pace they're pushing them.
yeah, those mediums, they've got to be sitting at or near puncture territory. And it looks like, no, Garrett did not hit. Garrett's still out. Timing screen freaking out a little bit here, doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, trying to figure out what.
But it is currently Peter Giordano, Garrett Elder, and then what I do believe is Duncan McCamick.
Yeah, with 16 laps to go in the Monaco Grand Prix, Peter Giordano is holding the lead.
Eric McCurney has moved up to 13th place, but he does have to make another pit stop on his 20-lap-old medium tires. Not going to take him to the end here.
Ooh, Peter Giordano hitting some traffic. Looks like the Red Bull of Cole Cummings going into turn 1.
Cole Cummings may hold up Peter Giordano for his teammate here. You never know. Could be a little bit of team orders. Blue flags on the straight here. He's not quite getting over yet. Taking a little bit wide to give him the space.
Oh, there's contact between the two.
Peter,
is it possible there's some side pod or wing damage?
There could be. Peter not taking that line, that inside line, as tight as he could have. You gotta chalk that up to a racing incident, to be honest. Doesn't look like it's either their fault. Cole Cummings definitely did try to get out of the way there.
On top of that, Peter is racing on 23-lap-old medium tires, so they're not going to have the best grip.
Definitely doesn't have the grip to be able to make those tight adjustments there.
Yeah.
If he needed to. That may just be his sign to go ahead and just come into the pits now.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to pull the trigger. The question is whether or not Garrett Elder is going to try and stop the undercut or just try and set a blistering lap.
Yeah, even going on to the softs now, that's 14 laps on softs. There's no way he makes it.
Garrett Elder staying out once again.
Peter also staying out. Yellow flags on the start-finish straight for something. I'm not quite sure what that is.
I'm not sure. There doesn't seem to be any debris or spun cars or anything.
Looks like the timing chart's starting to sort itself out here. We do have Peter, Garrett, then Duncan, followed by Alfonso Luis, who was the race leader until the pits. Wait, Peter dropping back. Looks like it might just be a timing glitch again for Peter here. Yeah, we're getting another timing glitch out of it.
Oh, this is just madness on the timing board.
Yeah. But can tell you for sure it is Peter, Garrett, Duncan, Alfonso Luis at your top 4 here. For some reason the game really wants Jack Pemberton to be leading this race.
And now Alfonso Luis has received a 3-second time penalty.
That's killer for him. He was in a position to maybe take a podium with these people pitting, but
Peter Giordano pulls the trigger.
Finally, Peter finally coming in for it.
Coming in for the soft tire, it looks like.
Wow, a little bit of a glitch on the
whoa.
Start for the straight pit wall here. I don't know quite what's going on with that. Garrett Elder probably going to stay out this last lap here.
Pit crew brought out the soft tire, still using the medium. Not quite sure what happened there. Graphical glitch, perhaps? Jack Pemberton, 3-second time penalty.
No, Gabriel DeVries also with another penalty.
Yeah, we're just seeing them left and right now. Even if we could tell what the timing board was wanting to say.
I'm not sure why Peter's still in the pits here.
For me, he's already out on track past the hairpin.
And I've got him a medium tire still.
Yeah.
Huh.
And there's a yellow in all sectors now, apparently. Wow.
Oh, we might leave the game and try to come back and see if it sorts itself out. That is